Hi, and welcome back. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there who's celebrating in this quarantine time, which sucks. But just think next year you'll be so happy if all you get to do is go outside to dinner. So, yeah, there's that. Today actually marks another special event in my life. It's the first birthday of Not My Baby. I have mentioned in previous videos that I was a surrogate. That took place last year, and today was the day last year that I gave birth to her. It was an amazing thing that I did. I loved it. I love being pregnant. I think it's great. And so I did it again for someone else. I had IVF to have my son, so I knew what it was like to feel like, you can't get there and you can't have kids and you have to jump through all these hoops to get just the one thing that you want. And because my pregnancies were both very easy, it's something I always wanted to do. My ex-husband was not into it at all, and so, I didn't. And then after I got a divorce, I happened to be talking to one of the parents at the school who, that's what she does. That's her agency. She has a surrogacy agency. So I filled out an application, and I was paired with parents. This was I think the third set of people that had come to. They didn't even really interview me. They saw me based on a picture and maybe just some general details. They didn't really know too much about me. And, two prior couples were like, no. And then this one was like, yes. They actually were non-American. They were from Spain. So that was kind of interesting. Language was a little bit of a barrier, but being in Florida, there's always someone who can speak Spanish. So if I really had a problem, I, could direct any conversation or text messaging right to them, and it was super easy. They were great. It was kind of nice maybe to have them in another country because they weren't on top of me the whole time. My pregnancy was very smooth. Based on my age, I had to see a perinatalogist, which was fine. It just gave me and them an opportunity to see the baby on ultrasound a lot more often, which was great because I really wanted them to connect to their daughter, and that was the easiest way for them to do it by, seeing all these ultrasounds. And what I did was I would secretly film them and have the nurse in the office speak in Spanish before the doctor came in, so that they could completely understand what was going on and what they were looking at and all that kind of stuff. And then I would send them the videos when I was done, which they loved. In some of my appointments when I was still with the fertility clinic, they actually FaceTimed with me so that they could see. It was actually Skype, but whatever, so that they could be there sort of at the appointment time. Their embryo was located in Utah, so I actually had to fly to Utah twice, once to have an examination of my uterus once I had passed my psych eval and make sure, everything was good. And then the second time was to, have the embryos implanted, or the embryo implanted, which was awesome, totally fine. I actually fell in love with Utah. I thought it was a great state, and I had never been there before, and I absolutely loved it. It was basically super easy. From, I could feel her burrowing during, those 3 days where you're basically bedridden, which was really cool. And then that was it. I tested positive and went to the doctor, and that was basically it. Everything else was basically a normal pregnancy. I don't get morning sickness, which is very lucky. So that's why I say it was super easy. I don't know. Other than in the last trimester, I had to go see a hematologist because my white blood cell count was elevated, and they didn't know why. And they still don't know why, technically, because as soon as I gave birth, all those numbers came down. So I just assumed that it's because a foreign substance was in my body, and my body was doing what my body's supposed to do, send out the troops. And so it sent out white blood cells to figure out what this invader was. But it didn't cause any damage to the baby. I actually felt great. I had no problem. I had no signs of any infection or anything. It was just one of those things that happened, and thank God, because, this is all I kind of wanted to do. I really wanted to be a surrogate, and I'm so glad that I did it, and I highly recommend it to anyone considering doing it. It really is such an amazing gift that you give to people. I had a C-section, which totally sucked, and I actually will show you guys a clip of what it was like to have, for lack of a better term, Parkinson's, from the anesthesia that I received. It sucked. It didn't hurt while I was shaking, but it was definitely annoying. I could feel it. They had a hard time taking my blood pressure because of it, but in the end, I was fine. It was probably great that I didn't remember what my C-section was like when I had my daughter, which was 9 years prior to that, because I probably would have not wanted another. It fucking hurts. 100% it does. I did not take any pain pills to get through it. I took, Tylenol. Actually, I'm pretty sure I took Advil and smoked some marijuana. That's basically what I did to get through the pain, and it basically worked. I wasn't interested in taking pain pills. With my other two, I did. I didn't become addicted, but you do fall asleep kind of on them unexpectedly. And I just, being alone with my kids, I wasn't super into that. And then that was it. I mean, it really was the least stressful of all my pregnancies, probably because I didn't have a baby to think about at the end of all that. I didn't have to worry about naming it, dressing it, clothing it, feeding it, nothing. It just, off it went, and that was the end. And it was amazing. And she was beautiful. She came out with a full head of hair, which is now red. I've seen pictures of her recently. She's beautiful. Apparently she's totally fine, which is great. And I feel really blessed to have done it, because it really is something totally amazing that you can do with your life. At least it was for me. But again, we're all different. So yeah, that's basically how I spent last year today, on this day. So yeah, so I'm going to show you guys a video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please don't freak out if you've never had a C-section before and you're preparing to have one now. My reaction to the anesthesia was not the reaction I had with the two prior children. So I don't think that would be yours either. And again, it didn't hurt or anything. It was just annoying as it was happening. So please, don't think you shouldn't have kids or you're afraid. You shouldn't be. It's totally fine. Once you have your spinal block or whatever it is that they give you that basically numbs you, you don't feel a thing. And that's basically how it should be. Because once it wears off, you definitely do feel a thing or more than one thing. But, you get through it, obviously. I mean, look, I had 3 C-sections. So clearly it wasn't that traumatic, and that's all I'm going to say. So enjoy the video. Hope you guys like it, and I will be back to talk to you after it's done. So enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As you can see, the shaking was, not great. But like I say, it ended and you could see that she was fine. And yeah, so that's how I spent last year. And that's it. I don't know. It really was an amazing experience. And I hope that, some of you go out and do it, because there really is nothing more amazing. And you see it, you feel it, and I don't know, it's incredible. It really is incredible. They do have one small thing though. You can't have no children in order to be a surrogate. You actually have to have at least one of your own. So that's one thing, which is good, because, did not fall in love with her. I thought she was very cute when she came out. I was very happy for them. Obviously, I did my due diligence and took care of my pregnancy, but I didn't fall in love with her, and that's because I had my own children. But I feel like for someone who doesn't have kids and they go through that pregnancy and then they have to sort of give away this baby, it might be very traumatic. So that's, why these rules are kind of in place. The only other thing that I can say about it is that you have to be obviously very normal or some version of normal, because they do give you a psych eval. So, that's the other thing. But other than that, it really isn't that hard. You basically, being pregnant, it's just that baby goes with you everywhere you go, and you don't have to take care of it because it's inside, and it's so easy. So yeah, so that's, basically it. And for anyone considering, having a surrogate, absolutely, 100%. It's definitely becoming obviously more mainstream now. And it's yours, 100% it's yours. There's no question about that. Every, state, and I assume other countries, which is why these people from Spain came here, because it's actually illegal to do in Spain, have their own laws. In Florida, technically I had to give her up for adoption. I had to sign adoption paperwork prior to being pregnant. And then I think I had to actually do it again when I gave birth. I don't really know. And then it was a whole thing. Again, I don't really know that that was on their end. Obviously for me, it didn't feel like an adoption. It didn't feel like it was mine, because it absolutely was not. There was nothing about her that belonged to me. And I don't know. So that's basically what happens. And I hope you guys, consider it if you can. And for people, again, who are considering having a surrogate, absolutely 100% do it. It's great. It works out well. Of course, comments, like, subscribe. Happy to help in any direction I can so that you guys, know where to go if this is something of interest for you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home whenever possible. Happy Mother's Day again, and hope to see you guys soon.